Hello, and welcome to Geeks Assembled. And this podcast that we're doing, that Lee and I are doing. Hello, Lee.
Hello there, Susan.
We are talking about multiverse and time and space travel picture called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it's basically the story of a couple who run a laundrette in the middle of someplace in California, I think. Not entirely sure. Anyway, they are both beginning a romance and ending a romance and traveling alone or with their daughter, who is either a really sweet and sensitive woman or a tyrant or one who has invested her whole life in an everything bagel, where she literally put everything into the bagel.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was a little strange. It's a little different in many parts. And let's see what Lee really had to what Lee thought of everything everywhere all at once.
Well, I was watching this. First time I've seen this. It felt like my mind had been put into a blender. Um, it was very difficult to follow. Um, they were trying to make it like a Japanese movie with with the characters, with the martial arts and stuff like that. But then you had the multiverse side of it. Um, with the sort of science fiction side, with the people from another, the multiverse coming to save. I mean, I was trying to understand why her husband was coming from the other universe to make her see things. Was that really explained in the movie?
No, not really.
Uh, uh, I mean, what's in it? Michelle Yeoh, isn't it? Great actress. And she put her all into this as a downtrodden housewife, you know.
Yes.
And then a her world turned upside down when she realizes there's different universes out there with other versions of herself who
Hmm.
are either more successful or in better jobs. Um, it was it body swapping or was it mind swapping?
It was it was basically it was like quantum leap.
Yeah,
Get it? You don't get to jump into other people. You only get to jump into yourself.
yeah. I mean, a great idea, but it was slightly confusing.
Uh,
That's what it was.
yeah, it was
It,
really confusing.
yeah, I mean, the cast was brilliant. I mean, Michelle Yeoh. Who else it was there? James Hong, great actor. Um, what's his name? Ki Yu Kwan, is it his name?
Yeah, he's been,
Who who we all know as Short Round.
yeah, or the guy from the Goonies.
Yeah. Well, what I was watching it because I didn't realise who was in it. I was watching it, I'm thinking, that's Short Round. He hasn't changed much.
Hmm.
No. And also you've got Jamie Lee Curtis in this
Yes.
as the IIS Clark, whatever she was. Um, yeah, it was a trip. It was a mind trip of a movie. This
Yes.
from beginning to end, as you said, the daughter put everything onto a bagel, literally everything, and there was the bagel. Um, with this one, you had to sort of think, but also as well, you wondered why I thinking about this because none of it really made sense.
Right.
So you were thinking, then you're thinking, oh, why am I bothering thinking? Just sit down and let it all wash all over you.
You could do that, or you could be super hyper analytical about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm
Um,
sure that you could draw some diagrams that could show kind of which universe they were in at which points.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I don't think I've ever seen a movie like this.
But they're all trying to be like this now.
Yeah, I mean, the multiverse isn't a new thing. It's been done time and time again.
But it's pretty hip right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, with especially with the MCU, the way that they
yeah,
are going, and maybe even Doctor Who, the way Doctor Who is going. Like Doctor Who may have a multiverse expansion in the next few series.
yeah,
But then there's also you know there was also the Star Trek in their
the mirror,
multiverse.
the mirror. Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
Charlie, it's just that there's so much going on.
yeah. I said the multiverse isn't a new thing. It is an old idea. Um, but this, for me, I, they've used this in a way that I've never seen before.
Yeah,
Um, the having to do something to jump,
yeah,
like either only want like stick your little finger up someone's nose and then lick it.
yeah,
You jump or
yeah,
put your shoes on the opposite feet.
yeah,
Yeah, because it took me a while to understand what's going on there. Then once you got into that, right, they have to sort of kick it off, and
yeah.
then um,
Something unusual or unexpected
yeah, yeah,
or broken reality or whatever.
yeah. I mean, I liked it. I really did like it, but I'm still confused about it.
Yeah, and I was the the amusing thing was how they dealt with the relationships in each of these multiverses.
hmm
I mean, talk about that for a little bit. Why don't you?
Well, this say with the husband and wife, they're in it's that they're at the end of a relationship. Aren't they? There's the divorce papers. You know, that's how bad that relationship is.
In one
But
universe,
yeah, in that one universe, and the relationship with her daughter is breaking down as well because her daughter is well, she's got a girlfriend.
she's coming out of the closet.
Yeah, yeah, but her mother doesn't want to know that. She doesn't want other people to know that.
She doesn't want Grandpa to know that.
No, she didn't want to know. She's always sort of interfering in her daughter's life. Um, so that really is normal life for most people around the world. There's nothing special about how that life is panning out.
Right?
Um, but you say then you go across the multiverses. You, you've got where she's an actress with her was a leading man who was her husband in in the other universe, or you had oh, what was the other one?
Well, in one of them, she was with Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yeah.
the one where all the fingers are made of hot dogs.
Now that was, yeah, I went, whoa, whoa, man blown. Um, yes, there were Jamie Lee Curtis and her were together as lovers or partners or whatever you want to call. But this in this universe, everybody had hot dogs for fingers,
Uh-huh.
so you couldn't really do anything. So it's like in the scene where Jamie Lee Curtis was playing the piano, she was playing it with her feet.
Yep.
Uh, so you guys out there who's watching this review now, yes, this is how unusual this movie is.
Yeah. Yes. And then the romance that they were doing was all based on like touching hot dogs and licking hot dogs, which was
Yeah, it was
it was a bit matron.
a hot dog eroticism.
Yep, that's right. That's what you call it.
But yeah, it's this has come from the mind. Well, who I'm just having a look here now. Who did this movie? It was written by Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Snayet. So they're just going under the name of Daniels. But wow, if this has come from their heads, I'll have what they've been having.
I know, right? The other thing that was amazing about the relationships was in the first universe that we were with, which was the breakdown couple, and the romance is beginning couple for the daughter. In some of the other universes, the daughter wasn't with her, and she was actually like a ninja or whatever, or like a really violent.
She was the villain of the movie.
She was the villain of the movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
and she, the way that she'd invested her life was just, it was just such a trip. She was not. Yeah, that was incredible. And and then there was a fun bit where they were talking about cooking, because when you first see this family, they started off cooking, and then
mm,
it ended up with somebody talking about Ratatouille, the Disney movie, and then within
yeah,
like a couple scenes later, there's a chef at like a Korean barbecue that had like those big flat skillet griddles, and then the people all gather on the sides to watch the cook work, and then somebody lifted the cook's hat and there was a raccoon up there. So the raccoon was actually, you know guiding
control,
guiding the
guide,
cook.
guiding him. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like it was really fun. Like where they went with like the storyline was just, it was really fun, and I liked the non-seriousness of like all the TV stuff that was going on the TV. The TV was part of it, and the ninja fighting. What did you think of the ninja fighting in the IRS office?
that was. I mean, I'm, I'm seeing Jamie Lee Curtis in a different light.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that it was just amazing. Also, as well with the daughter in the other universe being the villain, where she's taking on the security guards or police or whatever it was. Um, well, she just touched one and he just burst into confetti, and
Uh,
one where he just all of a sudden he appeared in a yellow little dress. Uh,
uh-huh.
oh, what's going on? But yeah, the fight, the ninja fighting was amazing, especially the scene where he the husband took on the security guards with his little we call it a bum bag, you call it a fanny pack, don't you?
Um, or it could be just called a bag.
A bag, yeah, where he's using that as a weapon, swinging it round, flicking it, and
Yeah, that
that
was amazing.
as I'll say the word choreography in this amazing.
Hmm.
So you had martial arts in this as well.
Hmm.
But
Much like
yeah,
the other movie that we reviewed, which was
yeah,
which was Bullet Train.
yeah. Um,
So
and then
I mean, it could we couldn't have picked some two movies that were actually so much the same, so similar,
yeah,
be radically different at the same time.
radically different. And then you've got also moving away from the ninja stuff. You've got the scenes in the universe where the mother and daughter are just rocks.
Oh, come
Eh,
on, tell that, yeah, show that, like bring that, what?
And it's just silence, and then the words are just put up on screen, speaking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The mother's rock have got those googly eyes,
Mm-hmm.
which is used a lot in this movie. Those little googly eye things stick on eyes. Um, yeah, it's just it is. It's as I said at the beginning of this. It just felt like my mind had been put in a blender,
Yeah,
um, and split into all these different multiverses. But I really did enjoy it because it made me think. It made me sit there with my mouth open, going, "Uh," and the acting in it is amazing. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I thought the Ki Wee Kwan was just freaking amazing.
yeah,
I mean, he was
um,
both when the relationship was ending, you could see the pathos, and then when when the relationship was going strong, you could see and feel the love, and then you could feel the excitement of the young relationship getting started. I love that. I love how he played that, and he was able to break that up. And Michelle Yeoh was. I mean, the last thing I saw her in was Star Trek Discovery, and I mean, she's got a lot of chops with this, and um, you could you, but because it was sort of her through her experience, her was from her perspective. She was
mhm.
confused a lot of the time,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so that was why you didn't get a lot of the emotional depth from her. She was trying to reason it out a lot of the time, and
The emotion came near the end of the movie.
near the end of the movie for her,
Mm.
yeah, you're right. And that was when she knew that she had to hug her daughter and had to hug her husband, and that she could try and make that all right by doing the bathtub scene and stuff. You know, it was just, yeah, it was sure elaborate, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it was. Uh, I would, guys out there, if you're watching this, I would recommend this movie. Really would. Um, it may take a couple of more viewings to really take everything in. So I may, in a couple of weeks' time, rewatch it
Yeah.
Is there's just a hell of a lot going on.
Hmm.
And also as well, the music in this is good.
Yeah.
There's as the credits roll, there's a brilliant song by David Byrne and Mitski called let me get the title of it. This is a life. As the credits was rolling, and it was there's the songs you think, wow, what a wonderful song.
Yeah.
Um, big thumbs up for the soundtrack. Some,
So, anything else that you want to mention before we rate it?
um, yeah, I mean, do we know why everything was put on a bagel?
Oh, because it's an everything bagel. There's an actual thing called an everything bagel.
We see, I'm
And I
British. I
know,
don't know.
I know. Okay, so it's usually just a plain bagel or a sourdough-ish bagel, and then they put poppy seeds, sesame seeds, sometimes garlic, sometimes bits of cheese. So it just depends on what they've got.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you explained that because when I was sat watching,
And it goes on top after right before, right after it boils, they pull it out, and then they dip it in that everything, and then yeah, garlic and onion, and what else would be on there? Um, yeah, just salt sometimes. Anyway, and they dip it, and then they put it in the oven, and then they bake it, and that's
we see we haven't got anything like that. So I'm glad you explained that. So the British who are watching this movie might not get that.
yeah, they might not. That
I was sat watching and thinking, why put everything on a bagel? Now I'm glad you've told me. I
because
will
it's a
I will sleep easy at night now.
because it's a religious thing now. For the character of the daughter, that was a religious thing, and you know, Stephanie Sue did a really great job as Joy, who was the daughter. She did a really great job. She showed lots of love for her partner and lots of love, and then lots of anger and lots of uh, fire, and she was just amazing. She had a lot of different characters going on and through her.
I mean, one of the scenes what made me giggle was when the woman with the dog or the called Big Nose was taken over and she was fighting with a dog on the end of a lead, swinging, swinging the dog round as a
Uh-huh.
weapon.
And then
The,
and then the mother had to come along and cut
the
the
dog just
leash.
went flying across. Oh, God. Some animal rights people will be up in arms about that.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But
Oh,
yeah, great comedy, action, fantasy. It's all in there.
and how nice it was to see Ki Huan Kwan again.
Was this his first movie because he gave up acting about
Yeah,
30
I
odd
mean
years.
he was saying that he wasn't doing a lot in when he came to Boston to do the Boston Comic Con with the other Goonies like 2 years ago. Um, but he's been in Loki, and he was in Finding Ohana, and then between that and the time of his movie before, there was 20 years approximately. So like, yeah, really he had slowed down. He'd done quite a bit of stuff as he was in the Goonies and into Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He was in the Cyndi Lauper videos. He was in Nothing Is Easy, Breathing Fire, Head of the Class, Tales from the Crypt, and Encino Man. And then second time around, and then boom, there was 20 years off, and then he got back into it for Finding Ohana, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and Loki. And then he's got another TV show that's coming out, and
cool.
2023 called American Born Chinese.
So he's getting back into it then.
Yep. And I'm glad he is, because he was so good in. I mean, he was just so endearing as a. I mean, he actually seemed like a sweet little middle-aged man, and not like this kid that we knew who was like, oh, he was just amazing.
He was, because the way he switched from being the sort of downtrodden husband,
yeah,
to this action man.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just from like that, all action and everything. I thought amazing.
Yep.
So good thumbs up to him there.
Yep.
And then you got the grandfather, James Hong. What a cult actor.
Yeah.
Blade Runner, Big Trouble in Little China. To see him in this.
That's a good science fiction. He's a good science fiction guy.
In his wheelchair, zooming along in the multiverse.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, it was something different for me to watch this. I really did enjoy it. So that's two of this week's movies you've suggested.
And they were both far out and really confusing and really fun. Kind of like your cohort here.
I won't go that far.
Just far out, weird, and really confusing. That's me.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all right. So what would you give this thing out of 10?
I enjoyed it. It's so confusing, but it's got everything in there. It's everything, everywhere, all at once. So for that reason, because it's such a different type of movie, I'm going to give it 10. 10 hot dog fingers out of 10.
Ooh, and let's see. Well, I will agree with Lee again. We've done a little agreeing this week.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody we're having an agreement. I'll give this 10. Let's say 10 laundry receipts out of 10. And I'd encourage you guys to watch it, and to when you first sit down to watch it, say to yourself in your head, say, I won't understand it for a while, but when I start to understand it, I will hearken back to what I just saw.
Yeah.
And when you think back to what you just saw, you will understand more of what's to come, and it'll take you places. And this movie is really fun for taking you places. And I would suggest also that that you get the popcorn and chew on it, and also support Michelle Yeoh, support Star Trek Discovery, where she or Operation 31 or whatever it's called, 31, where she's going to be in for Star Trek, and also support Ki Hui Kwan because he's back and he's doing stuff again, so that's fun. And thank you, Lee, for joining me. And if you like and subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the bell notification, because you're going to need to receive notice that we're turning stuff out every week. And then also we need you to, as a community, we need you to comment below what you thought of these really weird movies that we're making videos about. And then another thing is, come join us. You got to have a device, a camera, a microphone, and be over 18, because sometimes Lee and I get into fights, and or sometimes we watch things that are, boy, they're a bit risque, and so that's got to be like an adult thing, and either because of our discussion or because of our material, adulthood is fun. And then the other thing is, let's see, join us on social media, and tell Lee if you want to join us, because he's sort of he sort of knows everything to set you guys up. And also, thank you for watching good nerdy geeky podcasts on YouTube. There are other ones I'd like to suggest. I'd like to suggest that you watch Audio Who by Drunky G's Dark Place, but they haven't done anything for a year or more, and so yeah, you can go back in time though and watch those. And then the other thing is, I'd like to suggest that everybody tune in short order for the Ahsoka and the next season of Mandalorian. Season 3 is coming out pretty soon. Anyway, those two are coming out, and I'm dying for them, literally dying for them. And anyway, and Doctor Who is coming back in, I don't know, in a couple months, I suppose. And so there's that too. All right. Anyway, have a great one. Thanks for watching our podcast. Bye, guys.